All right, everybody. It is 1 o'clock p.m. and it's time for Super Bowl Saturday. Once again, it's me. It's the VINCE. And of course, I hope everyone's doing well this Saturday. One day before New Year's Eve, folks. One day. So, even though that means 2 days left to hit the gym and train. And the reason why I'm saying that is you know what's going to happen New Year's Day. Everybody's going to be piling into the gym, trying to get their New Year's resolution in. For about a week, it's going to be super crowded, and afterwards, it's going to go right back to normal. You want to know why? Because that's how people work, you know. They stuff their faces during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they think that they can get all in shape within a week or so. You know, this has happened so many times for the past 50, 70 years to where, you know, people just crowd these gyms on New Year's Day. So most of the time during that week, I'm going to train a little bit at home, either that or come in at like 5 a.m. in the morning and train at the gym. So what's going on, Lamar? Hope you're doing well. And Bone Chip, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you got some plans for... By the speaking of which, what are y'all guys planning to do on New Year's Eve? Just let me know in the comments below. I haven't got any particular plans or anything. Not sure if I'm going to get some tailbone or not. I may just head out on town. I don't have any real plans. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's just one of those things. But if y'all guys are not doing anything, well, find something to do. That's for sure. But just as always, on each Soul Poll Saturday, we're going to review one video. Rest of it, of course, is going to be just Q&A, but this is just for posterity purposes here. So let's go ahead and check out what we got here. So give me just a minute. Now, of course, it's still a business day, so I still got some calls coming in, but no worries. We always got things covered. You know how that is, right? So this is Kali Muscle's new video that he just released 2 hours ago for Pineapple. I've not seen it as of yet, but let's go ahead and check it out and see what he's talking about.
What's up with it, world? My name is Kali Muscle, and I want to tell you about my experience of doing an all pineapple fast. Nothing but pineapple. I didn't drink water. I didn't take supplements, vitamins, protein, creatine, nothing but pineapple.
Now, considering the fact that he's had 3 heart attacks, you know, if he's not been taking any of his medication and all he's been doing is pineapple, it is extremely reckless.
11 days, and I'm gonna tell you why I did it. Before I did the pineapple, I did 11 days of water fast, and on that water fast, I didn't get the results that I wanted. I didn't lose the weight that I wanted. My body wasn't regulating. I have an issue with retaining water in my feet and legs and calves.
Let me show you guys this here. You see how swollen those feet are? That's a prime example of his blood not circulating there, you know. I mean, his feet are literally swollen, you know. That's one of the symptoms of, you know, heart failure, in other words. Your feet start swelling because, you know, your body's is not moving around that blood as fast. So, yeah, that's not looking too good.
And legs and calves area because my heart ejection fraction rate is not normal. It's lower than it's supposed to be. So I do extreme fasts and cleanses and mono eats to test my body and see what will normalize my body. After me doing a 32-day of a watermelon fast, I found that fruit and H3O2 regulates my body. Reason that I did pineapple fast because it's so controversial. So many people were against it. I decided to do it.
Against it, your doctor actually yelled at you when you came to visit, and scolded you for doing these watermelon and pineapple and water fast and stuff like that, So it ain't just people. This is your doctor telling you this.
Dr. Sebi said that you wasn't supposed to eat pineapple. Now, I beg to differ. Being blood type A, that's the #1 fruit that is recommended for my blood type. Took a chance. I knew the process. I knew eating too much pineapple do injure your mouth. I wanted to see what people were discussing and saying and had all this chatter about. I wanted to experience it for myself. I had broke my water fast for about 3 or 4 days prior to doing the pineapple. Stomach was small already, eating mostly fruit. First day, cardio, fasted, workout. Went to Whole Foods after my workout, daily routine. Got some pineapples. Got a pineapple bottled juice that I felt was adequate. It just said pineapple. Costed like $10 to $12. Got some pineapple in a container and ate that. 6, 7 p.m. I had more pineapple, which it had cut up in the inside of my mouth. It wasn't pleasant. Doing the #2 in a rep.
Yes, the reason why is because, pineapple is quite acidic. So, yeah, if you're eating that much pineapple, unless you're on a deserted island, you really shouldn't eat too much of that, Well, even on a deserted island, you'd be better off catching fish. Fish cooked with pineapple is actually pretty good. It would add some flavoring. But anyway, back to the video.
Restroom, booty hole, stingy and itchy. It did cause me to have to use the restroom quite a bit, about 3, 4 times the next morning. So the next day, process continued, mouth hurting, of course, which I also only ate about up to a half of a small size pineapple, and I drunk the whole 32 ounce of juice. So it's about 600 calories. So I was consuming about 1,200 calories a day. My mouth, I had like sore in it, subsided after like the 4th day. Every night session I eat would hurt my tongue and my inside of my mouth. So the 5th day, I weighed myself every day. Come the 4th to 5th day, I lost 17 pounds. And it was amazing because I didn't even lose that on just the water fast. Definitely had the diuretic effect. It regulated my body. I didn't have no edema, no water retention. It went against what everybody said. It was awesome weight loss. Wasn't much weight loss after that. Shredded in shape, real condition. My muscles was hard. I just continued on with the process. I didn't know how long I was going to go. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th day was all the same. I ate the same, but pooping was still extreme. Pooping a lot, maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they tell you not to eat that much pineapple or any other acidic fruit, especially oranges and grapefruits and stuff. I mean, literally, you just had sugar and acid just running through your body, literally.
4 or 5 times a day, all pineapple coming out. Butthole stay irritated the whole time. Some pink pineapple in a box from Sassoon, it caused less irritation of the mouth. And for those that didn't know, the irritation of the mouth is not acid. They put it under a microscope and it's little like needles. Felt hydrated the whole time, slept well. My strength was up in the gym.
Well, yeah, needles too, but also that acid. So it's a combination of both.
If it wasn't for the mouth and the pooping, it would have been just fine. Every mono eat fast I'm doing, everything has its pros and.
Hey, Warfare, what's up? Just reviewing the new Kali Muscle video he put out about 2 hours ago. He is looking a little bit like Rick Ross, now that you mentioned it.
Cons. Broke our fast on the 11th day with some spinach and lentil with a little pineapple and pineapple juice, which I'm still on to this day. So overall, man, I recommend it. If you're having a problem losing weight, water retention, I recommend going on a pineapple fast. Eat enough to get rid of the hunger pains and to give you energy. I hear a lot of people saying the sugar, the acid. It's no acid. When pineapple goes into your system, it's alkaline. If you have any...
It's not you people, it's your doctor. Your doctor's telling you this. Any medical professional that you speak to will tell you that going on a pineapple fast, watermelon fast of any type is reckless and you shouldn't do it, you know. I mean, he's been ignoring his doctors for years. He's not taking his medication and he's doing all these fasts and everything. And they're not going to preserve his life whatsoever, you know. If anything, it's probably going to end up shortening it.
Parasites, anything of that nature, it will push them out. I was seeing some nasty stuff in the poop. If you have a problem with your health, it's always great to mono eat. It's not conventional because people they don't have the guts and the balls to try it. I was one of you guys that were pessimists, closed-minded, didn't have the courage to do something other than what I've been taught from a kid.
Going on a pineapple fast has nothing to do with courage. It's not something that's alpha, you know. It's something that's ridiculous. It's something that doctors tell you not to do, you know. There's nothing wrong with going on a fast, but maybe for like a day or two. But you're doing it for like freaking 11 days. You ate watermelon for like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, this is just completely reckless, you know.
It didn't have the courage to learn different stuff. God opened my eyes and to see, tried stuff. And it started with the watermelon, went to the water.
Now we get with the religion. Now he's mixing in, hey, you're a coward for not going on the watermelon diet. Now he's bringing in religion. So because I'm not strong enough, my faith is not strong enough in God that I can't eat some sort of watermelon diet. Is it religion? Or is it just that I'm a coward not to go on a pineapple diet or watermelon diet? I mean, Kali Muscle is just talking out of his ass at this point.
Then a pineapple, and I'll be continued doing fast to learn my body. And all the books of God is say fasting is healthy for not only the body, but the spirit. Don't be closed-minded. I know everybody chattering, but this has been going on since the beginning of time. Been brainwashing and thinking there's only one way to eat and all this. And like I say, it's coming from a ex-competitive bodybuilder that used to stuff my face as a kid eating 6.
You know, if you want another example of it, just think about Bishop Eddie Long. He did this same type of diet in order to stave off cancer. You can ask how his results are, but he's dead, you know. Cancer is cancer, you know. You always have to follow your doctor's advice. You may still end up dying, you know, and stuff like that. But I'd rather listen to a doctor than some quack on the internet, you know. Steve Jobs was the same case. This guy is a billionaire. And rather than getting the surgeries in time, he had a treatable form of cancer at the time. But rather than doing the procedures that his doctor recommended, he just went and did the same things that Kali Muscle did. He went online and checked for things. And this guy's a billionaire. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder or anything like that. It doesn't matter what you hear. It doesn't matter what the chatter is. It's always important to listen to the doctor. Why? Because a doctor is the one that went to school for many, many, many years, you know. So they're going to be the best expert to preserve your life. Now, we're not talking about fitness. If you're wanting to know about fitness and bodybuilding, then yes, go to a trainer or so forth. But when it comes to overall body health and everything like that, you go to a doctor. No exceptions. Can you still die? Yes, everyone's going to die one day, even me, you know. But you stand a much better chance as far as the longevity of life if you go to a doctor rather than, you know, doing these silly fad diets.
1,000 calories a day. Never in my life would I thought I'd be doing mono eats or fasting and things of this nature. But if you want to tap into your superior existence, I recommend it, man. Time is now. See this? Fruit juice, fruits, lemons. It's time for you guys to get in shape, man. 2024 is here. You've been procrastinating. You've been eating junk food. You've been doing everything that your family don't want you to do. Everybody wants you healthy. Even if you got healthy family members that's not healthy, they want to see you healthy so you can motivate and inspire them to get healthy. Now's the time. Go to kalimuscle.com, sign up today, and I'm not going to let you down because I'm not going to let myself down. I'm going to stay fit. I'm going to stay in shape. I'm going to stay getting money. I'm going to stay making my family proud. And we need you to do the same thing. It's time for you to burn off all that fat. It's time for you to get your cardiovascular up. It's time for you to get your health in order. If you got diabetes, heart problems, heart disease, whatever it is, we need to heal it today.
Well, yes, doctors are not always right, and a lot of doctors have lost creds, but what other alternative do you really have, half dollar or warfare? I mean, seriously. And you can always do your research as far as to what doctor to go to. I mean, you're going to still have a better chance at longevity of life with a doctor. And I'm only speaking specifically as far as longevity of life. I'm not talking about exercise or fitness or anything. I'm just talking about general health. You stand a much better chance with a licensed and trained doctor than some internet fad diet. I'll take the doctor over a fad diet when it comes to preserving health. If I was in the position as Kali Muscle with low heart injection, multiple heart attacks, and in the worst of shape, you damn right I'm going to go with a doctor. I mean, the thing about it is that these are smart decisions. But you know what? Even with a doctor, you can you're going to still die eventually, Everyone does, But you have to make good and sound decisions here, So, you stand a better chance with longevity of life with a doctor than what Kali Muscle's endorsing, which is a fad diet. And many people, Bill Gates, Bishop Eddie Long, that girl that played Steve Urkel's girlfriend on Family Matters. There's been a bunch of these people that have done these fad diets and they've died, where they could have preserved their life, There's not one case that I even know about to where a fad diet saved the life of someone over having surgery or so forth, or getting treatment for cancer. There isn't. There just isn't one,
Today. So make sure you sign up. No excuses. I don't want to hear about you ain't got no money. I made it affordable enough for everybody that's seeing this to be a part of KaliMuscle.com, the Money and Muscle Fitness Tribe. Sign up today at KaliMuscle.com.
So reckless, just reckless. I get what you're saying. Quality of life is very important, but you got to be really careful. Some people, they live too fast. I mean, one of the examples is Derek Anthony. This month is his 10th anniversary where he passed away in 2013. And whenever we did our radio show back in 2009 on Off Topic Radio, I explained to Derek, he was living too fast there, and he was going to end up killing himself with that fast quality of life. Now, granted, Derek Anthony had a great quality of life for the most part. He had nice car, he had girls, he had money, and stuff. He had a excellent quality of life, but it was cut too short because of that, So yeah, you can live large and everything. Rich Piana lived large too. Imagine his quality of life. Look at all the cars he had, all the fans and stuff, But at the end of the day, you do want some longevity, The thing about it is Derek is never going to have an opportunity to raise a family or grow old or see the future or anything like that, The same with Rich Piana, Rich Piana knew that, his quality of life per se was going to eventually catch up to him, but he just ignored it. He wanted to live fast and die. And, you got one thing you have to do, Warfare, is you're not, when you're alive, I'm not living just for myself. I'm also living for my family as well, I don't want my family knowing that I died prematurely, in other words. And this is what Kali Muscle's doing. He's going to end up dying. He's going to die prematurely, from his actions, from his past actions, Yeah, it's important to have quality of life, but you have to you have to balance that out, Plain and simple. Uh but yep, that's the only video we're going to review naturally. Again, just reckless, just completely reckless. Yeah, being rich doesn't make you happy there, Warfare, but you see my point in that, people equate wealth with quality of life. People equate going out to parties with friends as quality of life. Having a big house, having, jewelry, $10,000 Rolexes as quality of life. Flying on private jets, quality of life, And it really isn't. Yeah, leftover pizza's always good, Lamar. But you always have to understand there's a downside. When you have an extended quality of life, you're going to be shortening your longevity. Me, I'm 46 years old, and I've probably done some things that have probably shortened my lifespan, especially all the stuff I took for the NGA Night of Champions, which, as a result, my body no longer produces any testosterone or anything. That's just one of the examples. I don't take anything back. I had a great physique. I did the show. I got this to show for it, for example, and everything like that. But there's always a cost to getting something like this. There's always a cost to trophies, accolades, and stuff like that. That's one thing you guys got to remember. I believe that being in the best health gives you the best quality of life. Absolutely. And from the outside, Kali Muscle looks like he's in great shape. But internally Warfare, he's a mess. He's a mess. He needs to be taking his doctor's advice. That's why his doctor literally scolded him on camera to where he had to actually cut it off. Because he was up there getting in his guts for his actions and everything like that. And his actions also, the biggest thing about it is that he's encouraging others that have that similar condition to do the same thing, which is equally reckless. Kali Muscle has a huge following. Yeah, having a big house and jewelry after you're done flexing is, yeah. But even if you still have it, Lamar, it's like I tell people, you can buy a $250,000 house, you can have a nice car. Your friends will come over, they'll enjoy things, and you'll feel like the big man on campus and everything. But guess what? Eventually they leave, after the party's over with. And you're stuck with a whole bunch of bills. You're stuck with a $600 payment for that car. You're stuck with maybe a $2,000 a month mortgage. So you're going to literally have to work yourself to death for the rest of your life in order to pay all that stuff off, all those credit cards, everything else. Me personally, don't have any credit card bills, don't have any house bills, just pay for property, don't have any car bills. You guys see the watches that I wear. Why am I going to go spend money on a $10,000 Rolex? Screw that. But yeah, he's always posing. It's just it's gotten to the point where everybody is just in the rush to get to the graveyard before it fills up. Everybody's trying to do everything so fast. It's a frivolous way of living. Kali Muscle should be trying to preserve his life as best as he can for his family. He should be dedicated to making sure that he squeaks out every last day of his life, for his family, 24 hours. Movado, my Movado watch was $179 at Sam's Club. My most expensive watch I have, which I don't wear anymore, was $300. It was an Invicta. But I mean, that's the most I've ever spent, was like $300 on a watch. I bought the Movano as soon as I got my job at Verizon. And I bought that with my first paycheck, actually. But a Movado Museum doesn't cost that much, And not only that, it looks good on everything. Movado Museums are awesome, And they're very reliable, too. I mean, I've had that watch for 9 years. And I've only had to change the battery like 3 times, Plus, anywhere I go with the watch, whether I'm on a suit or anything like that, I look good. I fit in, No different than someone wearing a Rolex. And I get more compliments on my museum watch than other people get with their Rolexes because everyone's seen a Rolex. Everyone's seen a Pro Diver, When you're wearing a Movano Museum, it's something that very few people wear, And people will gravitate to things that are uncommonly worn. There's not many people that wear Movano Museum watches. There really isn't. No, don't watch Rent, Lamar. Don't watch that horrible movie. I hate Rent. Yeah, stay away from that movie, Rent. It's just it's a very outdated movie, Lamar. That's the best way I can describe it. It has poor relevance as of today. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I watched Rent in the '90s, but at this point in time, things have actually changed between HIV treatments and stuff like that. For example, and then just the attitudes and the acting and stuff is just way outdated, So yeah, I would suggest watching it. I would watch it somewhere else. Well, Lamar, tell her that as a gay man, I would recommend her not watching it. Watch something else. Watch Commando. Commando's an awesome movie. I hope you remember that. Watch Commando. Or if she wants to watch something, tell her to watch You Got Mail with Tom Hanks. That's a good movie too, Well, tell her to watch Grease if she likes singing, Lamar. But definitely not Rent. I absolutely abhor the movie Rent, And gay folks be like, "Oh my gosh, how can you say that? You're a homosexual." Because it's just not relevant, and it's just at this point in time, I think the movie should be. I don't think the movie should be banned, but it should go in the archives. It's no different than me using my Rolodex. I no longer use a Rolodex. I don't have a 1040 STF computer. I don't use floppy drives or anything. Some things just need to be put out in the pasture. That movie is one of them. It's also a very sad movie too at this point in time. But the biggest issue is gays will go and watch that movie and they think they're going to go and die of AIDS or something. That just doesn't happen anymore. Not with the advancements of medicine and stuff. Disney Star Wars isn't bad. The Star Wars Christmas special is horrible. I'm not triggered there, Lamar. My ex-husband always wanted to watch that movie. I just don't like it. I don't To be honest with you, I don't there's only one music with singing in it that I liked, and that's Grease, and that was it. Everything else, you know. Or West Side Story. West Side Story was good. Nonsense. That's a good musical. Not only that, I don't. If I'm gonna watch a musical, Lamar, I'm gonna go to a theater to watch a musical, more or less. I want to see live acting as far as a musical is concerned. Watching it on TV is just not the same. But I think Lamar, I think it has more to do with the age factor, Lamar, because you weren't exactly around during you're not old enough to be around during the AIDS epidemic and stuff like that. That was when that movie had its actual importance. But at this point in time, no, fosters uh it just fosters a false sense of things that were in the 90s, you know. Yeah, that might be okay. As long as they've edited it out, though, you know. It needs to be updated for modern times, would be the best way to describe it. Maybe they can have them die of the COVID or something instead. They should replace the HIV with COVID or so. That would be more relevant to in this day and age, you know. Person dies, goes like, aha, I see, you should have got the vax. You should have got the vax. Oh, come on, half dollar. Yeah, good actors, you know. But the thing about it is, I guess also has to deal with me being gay. You know, during that epidemic, everyone was afraid to, you know, I was afraid to go touch anyone else, you know, or so forth. That's how bad it was, you know. You know, I had to zip up with two fucking Jimmies instead of one, you know. But yeah, those are the years there, folks. That was the years. But getting there's also Jews on ice as well, half dollar, you know. Of course, there was a side musical in Blazing Saddles. I had watched that one movie with Matthew McConaughey and Jared. The yeah, I know that was that. I think the part of the name was the Cowboys movie. Yeah, back in the '80s, they used to do smuggling for AZT, I think. Do I ever talk with people on chat from Discord? I talk to always Marco and Vegan Gains sometimes. I do talk with my cousin. I do have a Discord account. I just don't regularly use it. I don't have any interest because, like I said, I only really use Discord if I'm going to be debating someone. That's the only time I'll use Discord. I mean, in the near future, I may use it to do face to face debates, but that's when I get better bandwidth, you know, to where I can, you know, run Discord. I have to close out Discord when I'm running my live streams because it uses too much CPU, you know, as well as it uses way too much bandwidth because you have to understand I'm still using a cellular modem. I don't have cable or fiber. So there's a number of things that I simply can't do at this present time, but hopefully that actually changes, you know. Yeah, do you have cable there or I think Lamar, cable and fiber. Yeah, I wouldn't even have good bandwidth right now if it wasn't for Pugman. Speaking of which, folks, thank Pugman. So AT&T, all right. I was using an AT&T SIM card whenever they sent us home in order to work off the phone on my 4G modem, which subsequently I can't sell. You know, I can't sell this thing at all. I bought this thing for like $600. I mean, this thing kept my job for an extra 3 years at Verizon. Otherwise, I would have been terminated by then. But this here is the old router that I used to use as opposed to the new 5G router. But can't use it anymore. Wah, wah, wah. $20. I have to pay about $160 a month because the router in itself runs $100 a month because I have 150 gigabytes of service on the router, which is $100 a month. I use my Verizon home internet for everything else, so I have to pay for those two. But I need to switch my phone back to Verizon so I can get that cut in half, and then I'll have that extra bandwidth. Oh, Rocky Horror is a pretty good. That's a pretty good musical. They still got a theater around here in Greenville to where, every weekend people still dress up and go see Rocky Horror. Yeah, that's why I said, Lamar, you got to thank Pugman because, otherwise I wouldn't have spent that much money, if it wasn't for Pugman's donations and stuff, So again, thank Pugman. So I'll tell you one thing, he's really looked out for me as far as this channel's concerned. Nah, it's $100. Whenever I was working at Verizon, in the early days, whenever we got sent at home, I had to actually use 2 SIM cards, and that was running me just $140, just in order to actually work. So, yeah, a lot less expensive. I could run it for a less expensive price, but it wouldn't run as clear as it is now. I think right now I'm on my Verizon regular home internet. I don't have the 5G router actually hooked up. I forgot to switch it over, but things are running well right now, probably because it's the afternoon and there's very little that's being used, so I can definitely use my home internet as opposed to my 5G router. But also the reason why I bought it is because it's a dual SIM, Lamar. So if I ever go back to work at home, I can just throw in another SIM card and use that for work and just use the other one for live streams. So it definitely works out well for me. But yeah, it gets expensive. Yeah, Lamar, I don't use Streamlabs. I use OBS Studio because it uses less resources. With Streamlabs, it uses a ton of resources, and a lot of times it'll end up slowing down your live stream. That's even if I had cable or fiber. That's why I don't use it anymore. That way I can do my transitions and stuff. How did I perceive it? If you're referring to spending that much money, it's just the cost of business. I was able to keep my job for an extra 2 years, so you just got to do what you got to do. But I started out streaming with OBS Studio, then I moved to Streamlabs, and then I moved right back to OBS Studio. It just works a lot better for me. I mean, I don't have some of the features that's included with it, But at the same time, there's a lot of other things I can do, and I've still integrated some of the Streamlab applications along with it. So, hey, no name, what's up? Xfinity was going to start charging me another $15 a month to rent their cable modem. Yeah, you should just buy your own modem. Don't rent it out. You have to think of it as a long-term investment. Yeah, if the thing about it is if I ever get cable, I can hook it back up. I can hook it up to this router because it has connections for a router. The SIM cards are really for a backup, but I use it actually as a primary source in order to run the business and run my live streams because that's the only thing I have. But the thing about it is, if I had the foresight that COVID was going to happen, I would have never moved to the area that I'm in. I would have never moved here. I don't think he streamed last night. I think he's finally taking some of my advice and taking some of the days off. He really needs to. He needs to start taking some days off as far as his streaming is concerned. He needs to have the work balance life because the truth of the matter is he doesn't need to stream every single day for like 6 or 7 hours. I think if he streamed for like 4 hours and has a schedule like I do, you know what I mean? He should be fine, monetary wise, and he needs to just find some other sources of income. Because, I mean, streaming can, doing live streams for a long period of time is very rough. Because you have to treat it the same as running a TV show. I mean, look at Sean Hannity. He does 1 hour a night. And even though all he's doing is reacting to videos and discussing things, he's doing it for 6 or 7 hours. That's just insane. I think the longest I ever streamed was 7 hours. 1 hour away from beating Jay Masters' record. I streamed from, what was it, 6? I streamed from 6 p.m. till, I think, 2 a.m. Let me take a look and see. Lamar, he may not be content with it. I was considering going back to Lowe's, actually, Lamar. I was actually considering going back to work at Lowe's. I mean, I can definitely get my job back. I worked there for 5 years and work a customer service desk. But I got the time to field all the options and stuff. So I'm not really worried so much as far as to job wise. But I would agree, not just for the money there, Lamar, but just having some. Well, he needs the interaction, Lamar. I mean, I'm sure he probably makes more money doing live streams than working at Walmart or Lowe's. But the problem is that he doesn't have much human interaction. And that's what's really coping with his depression. He says he likes doing live streams, but you could tell that he doesn't. He has very little human interaction other than his wife. And that's not good. Lamar, have you seen it? If you look at his house, obviously he wouldn't be good at cleaning up. He needs to be a janitor to his own house before he should actually apply to be a janitor. So just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is here. Let me see, which one is my longest live stream I actually have? I know it can't be monetized or anything. Wow, I've done over 210 live streams. Yep, the longest live stream I did was 6 hours. 6 hours and 7 minutes. That was on July 14th, actually. And that's when I was playing, that's when I did the only reason why that one was so long is because, you know, I was actually playing Wolf. It's not a run and gun type situation. See, there's one person in here. That's my longest live stream I actually have. But, folks, we got about 15 minutes left, so get your questions in. If you wish to make a donation, you can, but be sure to smash that like button, and let's get a little music playing. Yeah, Lamar, I mean, would you want my cousin being a janitor? No. Part of the requirement is you need to be clean. I mean, generally speaking, he wouldn't have to really speak to anyone to be a janitor, so that would be... It would only be good if he actually had the capabilities of cleaning up, you know. I mean, he was a personal trainer at one time before he started doing live streaming. He should go back into doing personal training, you know, take a bath, get a haircut, you know, and stuff, and go work at a gym.
Funny AF, Vince.
Lamar with a $3 donation. Definitely appreciate that. Well, I gotta keep it minty, you know. But if my cousin doesn't want to get a job, Lamar, at the very least, he needs to take away. He needs to spend some time outside of that computer screen. Because even when he's not streaming, Lamar, I overheard Jasmine saying that he games too much. So just imagine that as soon as he finishes streaming, he goes and games for hours and hours on end. So he's practically almost spending his entire life behind that computer. If he isn't streaming, he's gaming, you know? You gotta step away from the computer at some point in time. You see me, after this show, I'm going to the gym. You know, and I'm gonna train for a little bit. Then I'm gonna sit in the hot tub and in the sauna, listen to some music. I'll probably go to Aldi, pick up a couple things, you know, and stuff. I'm gonna be away from the computer. I think a lot of people spend way too much time with social media, you know. Have their head in their phones too much, you know. You see, I have the ability to break away from my phone and my computer, you know. I mean, I'll admit, having a phone is very addictive, you know, and I do use the phone a lot more than I did years ago, but that's only because I worked at Verizon. So, you know, when you work for a cell phone company, naturally, you're going to gravitate to, you know, using your phone more often for things. But before I worked at Verizon, I didn't even have I had a flip phone. My first day of class at Verizon, once I pulled out the flip phone, they was like, oh my God, everyone in the class said, you're still using one of those things? I'm like, yeah. You think that was bad? They should have seen my computer. My computer was just as old. I was still using a computer that I had got that was about, how old was that computer? It was 13 years old. It was a computer from 2003 that I was still using up until 2017. So I was using, at the time when I first started at Verizon, I was using a 13-year-old computer, and I was still using a flip phone. I was still living back in early 2000. Yeah, but Lamar, you know he's not going to take out the garbage. He's allergic to cleaning, you know. He has a phobia of cleaning. I mean, he's one step away from being on the show Hoarders. I mean, now I get it. People can be lazy about cleaning. I mean, I probably do need to straighten up the office a bit, you know. But if you go outside my office, everything else is pretty neat, you know. You go into my bedroom, it's neat. There's no trash around. There's no clothes hanging around. You go into my kitchen, you don't see any dishes up there, you know. I mean, how hard is it to put your dishes after you finish eating into the dishwasher? How hard is it to stack up everything, you know? It just isn't. This sounds almost 60s. Let me see what music this is. This is some of the new music that I got from my YouTube creator program. Warfare, I mean, it only takes like a couple of seconds to take your dishes, walk right to your dishwasher and put them in there, you know. I don't buy the excuse of being like, no. Good music. No, there are some things that you can do. I mean, maybe that's just my habit of things. Hey, how you doing there? But the stream's going pretty well. T1, man, you guys are getting in late. We only got like 7 minutes left, but glad you're here. So you still got time to get your questions in. You know, make a donation or smash the like button. If anything, smash the like button, folks. There's no stream tonight. There's only one stream today, which is the Soul Saturday. But no, I don't stream on Saturday nights. I'm either in the club getting a drink or so forth at a restaurant, or I'm tearing the guts out of someone. Nah, the only stream that's gonna be coming out is if anything, the jizz. If I'm up there tearing the guts out of somebody, you know, that's the only stream that's gonna be coming out. So, and I mean the word "come out." That's your stream. Well, of course, we got the Hangover show. I think last year I did stream on New Year's Eve up until a couple of hours, but I'm probably gonna go to a few parties, if anything. If not, I'll be downtown, but I will be out on New Year's Eve. Not gonna stay in. I mean, this is what I mean by work balance life, you know, and stuff like that. You know, there's a time to do a live stream, but I don't think New Year's Eve is one of those good times. You know, you should be spending time with your friends and family, you know. Everything isn't always about revenue, you know. You can't make your life about money. Money will come when it comes, folks, you know. That's one of the big mistakes that I made back in the day. I spent so much time working 2 jobs around 2000, 2008, I mean, for many years, where I just worked 2 jobs, and I did accumulate a lot of money, and I built my business and everything. But, you know, I had to sacrifice a number of years to where I was just too tired to go out to the club and everything. Well, Warfare, everyone can afford a house. Anyone can get $50,000 and get themselves a single-wide mobile home. You don't even have to put no money down to get a house like mine. The real wording would be, some people can't afford the house that they want, you know. Sometimes you can't get what you want, but you get what you can get, you know. Because living here is way better than dealing with high rent prices. People complain, a lot of my friends complain to me all the time about, you know, spending $2,000 a month on rent. And people cry about it, and I go and suggest, hey, why don't you get yourself a mobile home like me? It's like, oh, I wouldn't be caught dead in one of those places. I'm like, well, suit yourself. Keep paying all that damn money, you know? Keep stressing yourself out, you know? And live in a place that's worse than where I live. Because my house is nice. It's off the chain. You guys have seen it, you know? Oh, okay. I got you. Well, I made a video on Frank Tufano's eye surgery. He's still got a couple of weeks before it's fully healed, but I think he wasted his money. Yeah, I live in a single-wide mobile home, Warfare. And the reason why I bought one is because I was spending like $1,300 a month on my rent, you know? And this is 2016. I mean, my apartment now probably is running close to $2,000. Rent prices are super high. That's why I got this place. I don't have to deal with rent anymore. No more of those big bills. I can put more money away for myself. And if I decide I want to get a bigger house in the future, I can, you know. If anything, I'll be more closer to getting it than everyone else. The reason being is because I'm not spending my money on spending $2,000 a month on rent, you know, as opposed to what I'm spending it on now. That's where that difference comes in. Mobile homes are not expensive. You can get a used mobile home just as easy. I bought mine brand new for $50,000, but they're a lot less expensive than a conventional house. You got to think out of the box, you know. There's different prices for different things, you know. If anything, once you get one, you're definitely going to be spending a lot more less money than paying rent, and it would be stabilized. Even if I was making payments on this place, it'd be about $580 a month as far as to what the mortgage would be. Just $580 compared to what, $2,000 for rent? You do the math. Literally speaking, I would be putting away, even with mortgage, I would be putting away about $1,400 a month. My power bills would be a lot lower. It's a lot less power to run these places. My power bill this month is probably going to be like $80 in this winter time. But you know, everyone is entitled to make a decision. Mobile home may not be right for you, but guess what? It is definitely right for me, and I'm glad I made the decision to buy one. But folks, it is 2:00 p.m., and that is the end of Soul Saturday. Make sure y'all tune in for the final show of the year, The Hangover, which will also be at 1:00 p.m. Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank Lamar for donating. You be sure to thank Pugman, folks, for, you know, keeping the grizzle on there. So, I'm out of here, folks, and as always, peace and soul.